Good morning, folks. Welcome to the channel. I'm treating this as like the first official welcoming to CJT Drums. I'm Carter, the C in CJT. So today we're going over my top releases of 2025. I'm a little bit late. We're already like mostly through January, but who gives a fuck? We're just talking about some good albums. Now, most of these albums are on the heavier side. I thought this year was not a good year for non-metal albums and releases. So it's all heavy shit. If you don't like that, go the fuck away. But yeah, we're just here to talk about some heavy music that came out this year. So starting off, I want to talk about an album called You Were Safe From God Here by the Acacia Strain. This album, it just barely cracked into this list. I thought it was not nearly as good as their last couple albums. The double album they did, Failure Will Follow and Step Into the Light. This album is sort of like a direct follow-up. It's everything you would sort of expect. I just thought the songs, for the most part, didn't hit the same. Now, the only reason I'm talking about it today is for the last track called Eucharist 2, because that song, holy fuck, blew me away when I first heard it. I'm gonna show you a little clip of it right here. You can move the fuck around a little bit if it helps. So yeah, that song, if you haven't heard the whole thing, it's like 10 minutes long. Please listen to it. It's beautiful, it's haunting, it's Acacia Strain at its best. It's very much of a follow-up to Failure Will Follow, like the Bogwalker, Pillar of Salt type, like doomy, atmospheric sort of thing. It's very fucking cool. I saw the live video of it when they did a Tune Low, Die Slow, their Christmas show this year. And my god, dude, I would pay so much money to see that song live. Just that song. I'd pay $100 just to go to a show for 10 minutes just so they could play that. It is so unbelievably good. Please listen to it. It's, I don't want to say the only redeeming quality of this album. The album was good. It just wasn't the greatest, you know what I mean? But yeah, this song, it really just pushed it over the top. So the next band I want to talk about is Vile Decree. They're a local band from where I'm from, and they were busy this year. They put out an EP, they did a couple singles after that, and what a huge step up from what these guys have done before. Their live shows, their writing, their performances, it's all miles above. They get better every time I see them. I've done loads of shows with them too. They're great guys. But I want to talk about the Hostel EP. So that is one of the most fun EPs I've heard in a while. It's got everything you want. It's like a death metal, hardcore sort of thing. Their last couple singles they put out after that were almost like a blackened death metal sort of thing. So really cool. Please check these guys out. Here's a little video of them here from them live. Great band. Please listen to them. Support them. Local music. So here's another album that just barely cracked my list, but for a completely different reason. This is A Door Left Open by Orthodox. And the only reason it barely cracked the list is because I only heard it like 2 weeks ago. I didn't even know Orthodox existed. This album came out like in June or something, and completely went under my radar. I had no idea it existed. And about 2 weeks ago when I checked it out, I was blown away. What a fun album. It's like new metalcore, hardcore, which is right up my alley. That's like most of what I listen to anyways. But yeah, it's so groovy. The whole thing, you just can't get sick of it. I mean, it's only been 2 weeks that I've been listening to it, but I don't imagine it's gonna come off repeat for a little while. It's, the replay factor of it is like endless. You can just put it on for anything. It's fun, it's danceable, it's groovy, it's heavy, it's everything you want in a new metalcore album like this. So yeah, I definitely got to keep out an eye for new Orthodox stuff. Check out some of their old stuff too. Alright, this next EP, it's a little bit cheating. I don't know if I can really put it on here. It's Wasteland, Boulder City Beatdown. And I say it might be cheating is because I played with these guys. I did a bunch of shows with them earlier in August. We did like an Ontario tour sort of thing. They're all good friends of mine. We've jammed loads of times. The main guitarist, the guy that wrote all the stuff, he's in my other band, my main band, Devilation. Check it out. Shameless plug right here. Listen to my music, please. I'm begging you. But yeah, Wasteland. It's slam, beatdown, hardcore, all that sort of stuff. It's fun. It's fun to play on stage. People fuck with it so much. There's not much else to say. I just enjoyed this album. I don't know if it's because I listened to it 100 times while learning through the set list, but it's fun. It's like 4 songs. It's quick. It's 8 minutes long. Just listen to it. Enjoy yourself. Break some shit. Hurt someone. Do something to it. Just listen to it. Support Wasteland. More Baytown hardcore coming your way. So, it turns out, I just went through the entire rest of the video before noticing my camera ran out of space and didn't record any of it. So, it's time to do all of it again. And with that, we're going to talk about the next band called Reverent with the Decimate EP. Now, they're one of the bands that's at the forefront of the MySpace deathcore revival, old school deathcore revival sort of thing. Bringing back a genre that died out like 10 years ago. And to be honest, it really did need that 10-year break because in like 2015, even back 2012, it was so overrun with just garbage music and endless duplicates of the songs that came before it. So I think after 10 years, it's refreshing to hear a band bring back that sound in a bit more of a modern way and keep the same values that old school deathcore had. And another band I do want to mention is Lilith's Demise. They didn't release anything this year, but I think it's worth mentioning them. They're such a cool band, right up there with Reverent, the same sort of genre, same sort of feel. But please check them out. They're very cool. They're not very popular at the moment, but I can only imagine they're going to take off as time goes. Everyone, please welcome the legendary thrash band Sacrifice. They released an album in 2025 called Volume 6, and it was their first album since 2009 with, I believe, The Ones I Condemn. And as you will learn, I am not much of a thrash fan. I used to be when I was like 13. Now I'm just bored of it. It doesn't interest me in the same way it used to. But this album, it's just pure thrash, and I loved every second of it. It's such a well-written album, it's such a well-produced album. I'll say it's Sacrifice's best album to date. Everything about it is so good, especially the song Lunar Eclipse. It's like a 2-minute instrumental, and it goes so hard. But you know, that's not to take away from the rest of the album. It's so good. And my band Devilation, we had the privilege of opening for these guys in their first Toronto show in like 10 years or something like that. So I actually got to see them from side stage, which is probably one of the coolest things I've ever got to do. I'll put a video of it right here. But yeah, this album really has everything you want from a thrash album. It's so fast, it's groovy, it's shredding solos the whole way through. There's some crazy breakdowns in there. It's such a well done thrash album with a very modern production. Now this next album was honestly one I did not expect to like at all. And that's The Devil Wears Prada Flowers. I'm not so much into the very modern, poppy, overproduced metalcore. This album, it did it for me though. It was the first album of this type of music that really I just sat down and listened to the whole way through and thought it was so good. There were a couple songs on there that I wasn't too fond of, but for the most part, it's such a beautiful album. It does have some heavy bits in it, not nearly as much as their old stuff. And I will say, this might be blasphemous to some of you, I think I'd prefer this album over most of their old stuff. I think this might be my favorite Devil Wears Prada album. I'm not sure why, their old stuff is really cool, but something about this, it spoke to me. And since I've heard this, I've tried listening to other very modern metal releases, and no, it's just this one. This is the only one that of its kind that I really enjoyed. So, who knows? Maybe this one is magical or something. I don't know. Alright, we're in the final stretch here. This is the top 3 releases of 2025, and this is where it really starts to get special. And in between 2 and 3, I was really torn on which one I would put at which spot. And for 3, I'm putting this only here because it's an EP, only has 3 songs, and pretty much number 2 had more songs. So the only reason this is at 3 is because it wasn't as long, but it's Trivium's Struck Dead EP. And my god, dude, I can't even put into words how good these 3 songs are. Trivium's probably my favorite band of all time. Actually, we'll say second favorite band of all time. We got another one coming up after this. But you can really hear how much each and every member put their heart and soul into this, especially the drummer, Alex Bent. It was his last project he did with Trivium before they parted ways. And if you watch interviews of him talking about this EP, you can really tell how much it meant to him to make every single note in every song perfect. And he did not disappoint. It has some of the coolest drum parts I've ever heard. The breakdown at the end of Bury Me With My Screams, and just the main riff part of Struck Dead, so good the whole way through. I will say Six Walls wasn't the biggest fan of, still really good, but the first 2 songs were impeccable, brilliant, perfection. Like, I can't put any more words into it. If you haven't heard this, just sit down, listen to it, especially if you're a drummer or you appreciate drums. This EP is for you. So my number 2 release of 2025, pretty much tied with Trivium, is Sanguisuga Bog's Hideous Aftermath. And I love the Bog. They're such a cool band. I've seen them like 5 times. They don't disappoint live. But I always thought their studio music, their albums that they've put out, sort of fell flat in terms of sound, production, writing, all that stuff. And with this album, Hideous Aftermath, it really took it to the next level. It's miles above anything they've ever put out. It's probably the heaviest album to come out of 2025 that I've heard. The writing is so good through all of it. Has some crazy good features. It's got Peeling Flesh, a cattle decapitation, Full of Hell, some other ones I'm missing. Nails was on it. So good the whole way through. Every feature really played a part in all of the songs. It wasn't like they just came in and did a verse or a bridge. They made the songs even better. And that's not to take away from Sanguisuga Bog's writing and their performances. It just elevated it to the next level. Alright, and number 1, my favorite band of all time is Talla with Primeval Obsession Detachment. Now, I could make an entire video just off this album alone. I could rant on for 20 minutes about it. I'll keep it short and sweet. This album, there's so many qualities that go into it that make it as good as it is. I want to talk about the writing process and the recording process of this, because all the instrumentals were tracked live off the floor, no click track, no nothing. They all just sat there in the room and played their instruments, and that's what you hear. And I think the most impressive part is when Justin Bonnet, the vocalist, came in. He did the entire album in one take. It wasn't each song was one take. He had all 45 minutes of it lined up in one track, got in a dark room, and recorded every single song back to back one take. And that's exactly what you hear on the album. There's no punch-ins, no nothing. If he fucked up, that's what you hear on the album. And that's probably the most impressive thing I've ever seen anybody do. And that's a big reason why Talla is one of my favorite bands and Justin Bonnet is one of my favorite vocalists. And in terms of the songs themselves, such unique structures and styles where you can find little bits of every genre in there. There's jazzy bits, there's hardcore bits, there's death metal bits, there's metalcore bits, there's literally everything. If you're a fan of any kind of music and you listen to this album, you'll find a part that you like and you can relate to. And that's why this album, it's so far ahead of anything I've ever heard. Even their last two albums, which I personally love, they're probably two of my favorite albums of all time. This album, it just takes everything they've done, throws it in the trash, and just builds to a higher level. I can't even comprehend into words how good this album is from start to finish. Plus the story behind it. It's a concept album. It's a very cool sort of like twin idea where there's like mirrored songs and it tells two different stories that intertwine in the middle. It's very cool. I can't explain it any more than I have without going on a full-on rant. I'd love to eventually make a full video dedicated to Talla, just talk about everything they do, which I might do eventually, but to not bore you anymore, that's Talla. Greatest album of 2025. Greatest album, I'll say, of the 2020s. Maybe of the century. That might be a stretch, but that's truly how I feel about it. It doesn't get better than this. Well, that wraps up my top releases of 2025. Loads of different shit in there. I hope there's something in there that you've already listened to and you enjoyed, or I hope I've given you some recommendations that you can listen to. Let me know what your favorite releases of 2025 are. And also, in terms of the drum covers that I've been posting, let me know if there's songs you want to see me cover. As long as it's not some crazy shit like Archspire. I'm not fucking playing that. Fuck you if you suggest that. But yeah, let me know songs you want to hear me play, and I'll do my best to get that out for ya. But yeah. Farewell, my friends.